Guys, another episode of What's Up, guys?
These.
Bring it. Outside. Seven.
Yes, you can start.
If you guys have any questions throughout the live, please ask questions. If it's us doing the live paintings and you need us to slow down or maybe go over a couple of things, we'll definitely love to also speak about that. If you guys have any questions for Krystiano probably won't be physically on the camera, but he'll be in the area and can also go over any of the questions that you do have for him personally. So again, appreciate you guys for always tuning in, supporting Art Talk Live, and there's so much in store that you guys are gonna get so excited. I mean, we have so many ideas, and we can't even really speak about them because we're just gonna execute and just show it live. Another shout out to another artist, Krystiano. This is also his art on a shirt, so this is amazing. We're really highlighting all artists, close and far. So
I'm so sorry, I'm like all on the way.
if you guys have any other questions till Jasmine gets set up, we're here to ask any questions. Thank you. Hello from Vegas. Let's go. We got somebody all the way from Vegas.
I'm gonna read.
Yeah, no, that's a read sideways.
What's up? What's up? That's
Give him a little wave. Give him a
what's
little
up.
wave.
He's not really from Vegas, man. He's from Transylvania.
Oh.
That's like an exotic. But when he told me that he's another artist in Vegas. What's up, bro? We're here in the house. It's all done.
Yep.
Oh, so I didn't need to bring the table tables.
It was just in case.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, they cannot be more lively
All right,
than
so
that.
if you guys are prepared, we're getting our
It's up to you.
canvas. Get your canvases ready. We're getting our colors ready.
I'll put some more stuff here just in case if we need to.
Some extra. Wait, is this? I don't know.
No,
Is this?
No, it's cool.
Okay.
Nah.
So this is some of
Art Talk
Jasmine's
Live.
art. As Jasmine's getting ready, here goes some of her art. You can follow her at funkycanvas_18. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, you can follow her business page, funkycanvas_18. These are some of her paintings. You can also go ahead and talk to her if you see any interest in any of these. If you guys love to see some women's in your house with you know, nice parts showing, this is for you. If you guys have a little daughter, you guys want to put a nice piece in.
Yeah.
Obviously the lips, big seller. What else you got there?
And then I have this one I just did the other day. This little lady here.
All right, and then for the piece that we are actually drawing today, that I know you guys are excited for, go ahead and show them the piece that we'll be doing today.
Right. So it is an anchor.
All right, so we're actually Jasmine's gonna walk us step by step. And again, I'm no artist, but I'm excited to actually walk through with Jasmine and get this prepared. So if you guys are ready, Jasmine, can you please go ahead and give them the information on what they'll need?
Yes, I
from
will.
brushes to colors, just really detailed so you can get so excited. If you guys have your family, please make sure that you guys are at the table because we're about to get started.
All right, so I have to take these closing them. But you'll need a big brush and a little brush. You will need white, brown, and I have to grab them, black, and
Go live.
you will need cups for water, yellow.
Definitely stop. Cover the camera.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. Plate. Here you go, Efrain. I got you some brushes too.
All right. So again, if you guys have any questions, you guys need us to slow down, you guys need us to explain. We'll be interviewing Jasmine in the process as well as creating what I was going to say is a masterpiece, all right? Again, I don't do a lot of art. I've done this one other time and I was actually pretty excited because sometimes we don't realize what our potential really is, right? So I've actually worked with Jasmine in the past. This is actually her business. She does paint parties, you know, for anyone, for adults, for children, at schools, at dental offices. She's done it all. So if you guys are interested in paint parties, also make sure that you guys follow her. But again, everyone is an artist in their own way. So don't think that because yours don't look like mine or looks like Jasmine, that it's not a masterpiece, because it's a masterpiece because you painted it. All right, so pretty excited. Let's get started. Let's get to know Jasmine a little bit more. If you guys have any questions, we do have Mr. Felix, who's the man behind the camera, that would actually be reading some of the comments so we can actually get more engaged as we're doing some art. And again, always appreciate the love that you guys bring to Art Talk Live. If you are local artists and you want to be a part of the show, please feel free to either message myself or Krystiano, because we would love to have you in the studio and get to know more about, get to learn more about you. All right. So as we get started, we got our canvases as we mentioned. You can put everything right here, Jasmine.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Let me just put.
What we got here? We got Gracias, big problem. What is the big problem? My son. I am Efrain. I am also the co-host of Art Talk Live. For you guys that don't know me, if you guys are tuning into Art Talk Live every week, you're going to see myself or Krystiano. Krystiano, it won't be doing the live with us. He'll pop in and out, so if you have any questions, still feel free to ask, because he is in the studio. He's actually working on other projects. So please make sure that you have any questions that are pertaining to Krystiano privately. You DM him, or if you want us to answer it here live, still ask the question, because he is in the studio and we can get those answered. But we're just, Art Talk Live is to actually create a platform where we can highlight local artists. Our community is so huge, but it doesn't get the love that it deserves. And that's why myself and Krystiano have created this platform, so we can highlight all types of artists. Makeup artists, right in the door. Makeup artists, artists that paint on canvases, artists that paints on motorcycles. If you create art, you know, with clay or whatever, we want to see that. I think there's so many different forms of art, and we're just really excited to create this. We're 5 episodes in. Shout out to the guy behind the camera. We are creating a platform to post on YouTube, to create our own channel that we can actually talk to you and you can see some of the behind the scenes that we'll be doing. For you guys that did just tune in, don't forget, Krystiano will be in St. Pete at Ocean Blue Gallery. This is his next show. You'll see some great pieces that he's created for you guys. So hopefully I answered some questions. Let's see. Make noise. Let's go. Make noise. Make noise. All right, Jasmine. So go ahead. If for you guys that turn around, if you guys need to know, Funkiest Canvas _18, you can follow her. You can book her for your private parties. Whatever it is, you have any questions about her particular art, we also would appreciate all the questions. So ask any questions. We'll do the best that we can to answer them. Felix behind the camera will be reading the questions. We'll be answering the questions. If you need to know anything about who I am and what I do, if you need to know anything about Jasmine, if you need to know anything about Art Talk Live or any arts in general, we'll try to do the best that we can to answer all questions. So Jasmine, are we ready?
We are ready.
Are you ready? Let's get this started.
All right. So as Efrain already showed you guys, we are going to be doing an anchor. I'm going to. We were going to use tape Efrain, but we're just going to hopefully, you know, you're going to make some good lines here.
All right, all right.
I got you a piece of chalk over there. So also chalk is optional, but we're going to be using chalk because.
Pick that up.
Yes. This here?
Yeah. And again, this is exactly what we're creating. So guys, follow along. Any questions, if you guys need us to slow down, you need to know anything about the colors, about blending, feel free. We want to show you some live art, just kind of change it up a little bit. I know Krystiano normally is on here talking about his art pieces, but again, this community is not just about Krystiano, it's about all artists. So appreciate again Krystiano inviting me in and having me be a part of this. So if you don't see me, you'll see Krystiano, and vice versa. Sometimes you'll see the both of us, so you get 2 smiling faces. All right?
Alrighty. So, oh, awesome, you got a really good angle. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're going to make our lines. Over here. All right, so you're gonna make your lines across this way. We're only gonna do, let's see, 1.
This is exciting. Listen, I don't do art, but I'm excited
to see this. Efrain, I think you painted with me one time when I first started off, right?
All right.
Y'all were my first audience.
How many lines are we doing?
We're doing 3 lines.
3 lines. All right.
So 3 lines. 1, 2. So I know the original picture has more lines, but as I was looking at it, I was like, well, I think I just want to keep them.
Can I do 4?
You can do however many lines you want, actually.
Okay, you can do as many lines as you want, because I already messed up, but you know.
And if you do mess up with using chalk, you can just wet the paper towel a little bit and wipe it. So no stress.
Simple. Just make some lines. This is the easy part. I told you anyone can be an artist.
I can't wait to see to see how it comes out.
All right, what's next?
I think I even mess mine up too. See, look. Everybody messes up. Even people who instruct the class. All right, so I'm gonna do one more line right here. Alrighty, and next thing you're gonna do is the pattern. So this one's gonna be black. Can you see me? You can see it, right?
Go ahead, go ahead. Just talk to me where I'm following.
White, black, white. So just a pattern. So it's gonna be black, that's gonna be white, it's gonna be black, it's gonna be white.
Cool, cool.
So we're gonna get our big brush. You got a big brush?
A big brush?
We're gonna wet it a little bit.
Brush? Oh, I do got water.
Wet it a little bit, and then damp it off on the paper towel so it's not too wet. Oh, sorry, fun. And then you're gonna dip it into the black first. And then you're just gonna fill in that little rectangle.
Feel free to ask any questions, guys. We're here to answer questions as well as do some live painting for you guys. If you guys want to know more about the artists, but Jasmine, as we're painting, I know we said painting black, so we have to paint. Let them know a little bit about yourself. What made you get into art? How long have you been painting?
So, I have been painting since I'd say 2015. So what is that? About 6 years?
Okay.
I started originally when I was younger. I was sketching. Like I used to love doing, like creating comic books, like random scenarios for God knows what reason. I just love sketching, and then that's something I would always do, like just to like escape from like reality. I would just create my own stuff in a comic book, and I wish I still had them. But I was doing that when I was like 8, 9 years old, and that was something I wanted to do. But you know, I started, then I became a preschool teacher. And with being a preschool teacher, I was able to, you know, just do more art with the kids. So it was exciting. And then I was also able to do the boards. So like for the holidays and stuff, I would decorate the school boards for like the kids. So I did like a Dexter's Laboratory, and like these are like 5-year-olds, so they don't know anything about Dexter. That's like back in my day. Feels good to say that, back in my day. So back in my day, we used to watch Dexter and stuff. So I would do like Courage the Cowardly Dog for Halloween and like things like that. And when it was Science Month, I would do Dexter's Laboratory. So I was just really into like sketching things. And then a former friend of mine had actually introduced me into painting. So me and her started painting, and from there, a couple people had started asking me, like, why don't you start teaching, you know, like teaching classes and things like that. I was like, I don't know, you know, just thinking about other people and what they'll think. And I'm glad I didn't stay in that mindset for long, because I wouldn't be where I am now. I ended up starting off small. I wanted to, you know, teach my friends first. And Efrain was actually, I think we did my first actual paint, I'll call it paint and sip, but it's not really paint and sip, just like a little paint class that I did was with my family, and it was our family reunion.
I'm sorry, I think I missed it. What got you into doing paint parties again?
Into paint parties?
Yeah.
It was just people in general. When I started painting, they were like, oh, I want you to show me how to do that, or why don't you, you know, start doing your own paint classes and things like that. And I just was like, I don't think that's something I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it at the time, just because I was just worried about, you know, what people would think and things. And then I got out of that mindset, because that's not, you know, if it's something I really wanted to do, I had to not think about other people and what they were thinking. So what I did was put all that aside, and my family reunion, my family wanted me to do it. I went to Michael's and bought all of these supplies, and that was my first little class, and it was outside at I think it was, who's that park? Not Lake Eola, but the one where you can like rent. Not Barnett, it's the other one where you can
Turkey Lake.
Turkey Lake. We were at Turkey Lake under one of the pavilions, and I was sitting there painting with my family, and all of a sudden people started coming up, and I think I had just started making my business cards. I made my business cards, and there were people coming up from different pavilions that were watching me, and they were asking prices and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't even like started thinking about this type of stuff yet, right? And I had to do it, and then I went from there and just started getting booked with people, and it's been up from there.
So questions for those that are entrepreneurs, what advice do you have if they want to turn their art into a business? We know that Krystiano does galleries. You obviously are different artists. You actually do paint parties, you know, and you actually do all types of paint parties, do all types of art. If entrepreneurs that are watching that may want to turn their art into a business, what advice do you have for them?
I would say find what you like about your art. For example, I like teaching and showing people how to do things, so that's my thing. So find your niche with your art and go for it. Don't think about what anybody else thinks. Don't think about this person's doing it too. It does not matter. You're you, and you have your own thing to bring to the table, and the other person has their own thing to bring to the table. If you continue to think about what other people think and how they'll feel about your moves, then you'll never get where you need to go.
That's
so
good.
Definitely just go for it. Don't think twice, just do it.
So also with any business and artists in general, right now we're speaking, but do you feel that you've dealt with any, because we always speak about those high times, right? Those high moments. Do you feel that you've experienced anything that was challenging during this journey of you becoming an entrepreneur with your art?
Yes, I have. I've had some highs and lows. I've had situations where I had to learn about deposits.
You already know.
Putting a deposit down is important. If you don't have a deposit, then there's not in a rude way, there's not much to talk about. There is much to talk about, but that's also the money I'm putting in to prepare for this paint party. So there's been times where I've spent $300 something for a party and 6 people came. So I had to learn through experience that I need to start taking deposits down, so that way these numbers are locked in and there's no going back from there. You know, because I also work in a dental office, and that's one thing that we do. You know, you take a deposit if you want to get the treatment done. So why don't I take my personal business serious and do the same thing? So that is something I've definitely learned, is putting a deposit down. And I also learned from you about buying. I remember I used to like buy stuff before I even had things booked, and you were like, you should probably like start off slow, like just slow it down, Jasmine. And once I did that, I started to realize like, okay, I'm saving here, or you know, this is where I could save more money by doing this, or catching the deals at Michael's means a lot, because when they don't have a deal, those canvases are like $20. Like,
so for you guys that are starting into the business world, I myself am an entrepreneur. I have actually a t-shirt printing business. And when she talked about the advice that I gave her, a lot of times we want to go to our nearest store, which may be Michael's, which may be, I don't know, these art supply stores, but you have to really do your research. In any business, do the research, find where you can get wholesale materials, you know, if it's the wholesale canvases, if it's wholesale paint, and I wish Krystiano can elaborate a little bit more, and we'll actually talk about getting things wholesale. I think it's very important because it just kind of helps with the profit. Also making sure that you're not doing anything for a client without receiving a deposit. A lot of times we're so excited, we get that first client, and we're so ready to just get started. So we start to buy all this merchandise, we start creating an art, a masterpiece. And then sometimes the client didn't give you anything, and you're done, and then they don't give you anything. You know, you're just kind of, you know, it's still an art piece that you can still sell, but at times you kind of lost your time because if they didn't sell it. So please make sure that you guys, if you guys are looking to be entrepreneurs in the art world or in general, that you guys are really doing your research on what it is that you can, the best practices, I would say, in creating a business. But
yes.
So far I got my lines, Jasmine. I'm excited for the next part.
Yes.
What
is it dry? You have to wait for it to dry. Actually, you can go ahead and fill it in with white.
So
fill in the white part with white.
If you need to dry it, usually she has a hair dryer. Hair dryer works for you guys that are doing art and always wanting to dry. A hair dryer works. Right now, since we don't have one and we want to make sure that it is dry, just fan it a little bit.
Yeah, just fan it. Fan it a little.
Obviously, I watched her do these a couple of times, so I'm also excited. Another thing about Jasmine, I've known her for so many years, so I love to see the growth You know, I've seen her when she was just doing her own art and how she's turned this into a business. So it's been amazing. You're welcome. For you guys that are mentioning that you guys love for us to do these lives, we just really appreciate you guys always tuning in. If you guys have any ideas for us or anything that you guys want to see, you know, we're open to it. We definitely want to make sure that we can bring as much content and help you guys out in the art community as much as we can. Even if there's any personal things that you guys, you know, we're just kind of here. Me, Krystiano, we love to give back. We love to make sure that we can help others. And we're just starting off in the art community. So appreciate you guys that do tune in every single week to just watch us, ask questions, see us be ourselves. I think it's so important that when we go onto social media, we can actually be authentic, and we can be ourselves and just show our true colors. You know what I mean? We all had to start somewhere. A lot of times people get so caught up in you know, the high times, but there's been low times for all of us. You know, and we deal with from the mental through the, you know, the physical stress, and so we just want to be here, just have a little bit of fun, and always make sure that we can bring you content every Thursday, 6:30, Art Talk. So appreciate you. We'll continue with our painting. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to definitely write them in the comments. I think I'm doing a really good job keeping tabs here with you guys.
You know what I should have worn tonight, Efrain? The shirt Know Your Worth, because that is something I also want to touch on.
Don't worry. No, don't answer that yet.
Don't answer that yet?
That's your last question before we finish.
That's the last one? Oh, okay. Look at me. Going ahead of the...
But do keep in mind that we're only here for an hour from 6:30 to 7:30. So I'm just waiting on Jasmine right now. I'm waiting for this masterpiece. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm an artist. I'm like Picasso today.
Like over here low-key trying to tell me to hurry up. That's cool. I just wanted to make sure my lines are correct, so I'm sorry. My bad.
Cool.
All right, sorry. You said yours is dry.
No, it looks like maybe your phone ain't working, Papi. Another thing that I do want to mention, I know this is Krystiano's platform that we usually use to go live. We are also creating our YouTube page so we can get everyone on one platform. So do keep that in mind that soon we'll do Art Talk Live from a YouTube channel so that we can see all the questions. You can always go back and replay this and just make it easier for everyone. Also creating an email, so if you have any emails, you can always direct it to Art Talk. Listen, this is just the beginning. We have so many ideas and we're just so excited for you guys to be a part of it. So there's so many different things, myself, Krystiano, Lucas, and Felix himself. There's actually 4 of us that work to kind of put this together. So always give a shout out to the man behind the camera, because when you start to see some of these dope videos or you see the highlights every single week, it's Felix, you know. So always got to give love to the people that are behind the camera that you do not see the face. There's always a face to someone, and he's not going to show his face, but we appreciate you, Felix. All right, what's next?
What is next is you're going to get your piece of chalk. Are you sure yours is dry, Efrain? Because it looks a little, from my angle, like we're going to be getting some black on that chalk and then you're going to dry it.
What y'all think? Is dry or nah?
I think nah. Mine's is...
See, look, I'm doing good so far. Like, I'm no artist, but I almost got straight lines right now. If
it's shiny, you got to wait for it to dry. So you can see, I'm sure you can, there's little pieces on mine. It's like, see here, you can tell.
Do you have any advice for those that may be just starting in painting or doing any type of art? Because I don't want people to think that their art is not as good as somebody else's. I think that's really important.
Never
Can you
think
please
that.
elaborate on something like that?
Never think that. I had to get out of that mindset because I used to go on Instagram and look like, oh my God, that artist is amazing. I want to get like that. Oh my God, they can do portraits. Your art is your art. Portraits and doing like actual like people. I've had a lot of people asking me, maybe one day I'll get into it, but I'm also choosing not to say yes to everything. Don't say yes to everything. If you're not comfortable doing it, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Like my thing is doing abstract art. Like I like to do women's bodies and I don't want to necessarily give them skin color. I'll give them different colors or, you know, different shapes on the body, things like that. Another thing you'll notice with my art is I don't do faces with women's bodies. I feel like it's like a thing where it's like that's private for them. So, you know, no face, no case. You know? No face, no case.
All right.
But yeah, so just.
I think I'm a little.
Yeah, mine's just drying up. Well, we'll just see what happens.
All right, so on to the next step. If you guys, again, if you guys need us to slow down, you guys need any steps repeated. If you guys have any questions, feel free. We are doing the best that we can to answer them, and we always appreciate you guys are still tuning in with us.
Let me use this as a reference because I still sometimes, even though I teach the classes, I still have a reference photo because I don't just wake up and know how to
so what's next?
anchor. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is get our chalk.
Got it?
Got your chalk, and we are going to make the anchor now. Let me just get my piece of chalk back so it doesn't want to come out.
This is the hard part. Listen, I can't even draw straight lines. So let's see how this comes out.
But you did a good job.
Did I? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you did a good job, friend. You did a good job.
All right, so what am I drawing?
All right, so what we're gonna start with is the circle up top. So we're gonna do a circle right here, just a simple circle. Simple circle.
Simple circle.
Simple circle. All right, and then you're going to come down, not in the center of the circle, but like right here on the side, because we're gonna double it.
Okay.
You're gonna come down here. Okay. Right down here.
Okay.
And right about here.
Clearly mines are too long.
And also.
Okay. How do I erase it?
So you wet your paper towel. If you make a mistake, you just wet your paper towel and you wipe that area. Just don't.
Listen, it's okay to make mistakes, all right?
It really is.
Listen, we're all learning. We're all just having fun.
Yeah. Treat art like life. We're gonna make mistakes and you learn from them.
Ooh, let's go.
Art is like life. Make your mistakes, but learn from them.
And don't ever think that your art has to be perfect.
It doesn't. Your art
There's
is
such thing as perfect.
I've had pieces I've done where I was so like my own worst critic on a painting, and someone would look at it and be like, I like that, I want to buy it, and I'm like, what? You know, but everyone's the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So whoever the piece is for, they're gonna be the ones to fall in love with it.
All right. Is this better?
All right.
Try to go down more.
So go down. I'd say make it to the middle of your next black line, like towards the center of it.
There we go.
Go a little bit farther down. I didn't know your black line was there. There you go. All right, and then what we're gonna do is this is part they're gonna go their separate ways, these lines, right?
Okay.
So I'd say in a way, let's say make a L, but a reflection of an L. So it's like it's going this way, and it's not a perfect L, it's kind of slanted a little bit. So we're gonna go like this.
And just for you guys that are following along, you guys need to see it. This is what she's asking. So once you get down here, you want to make sure that you're going and curve your line so that you get this kind of shape. If you guys are watching here, if you guys are watching here, if you guys are watching here.
All right, and then here. So now that we've gone our separate ways, there you go.
I'm so bad. I'm like right-handed. I can't do anything with my left.
No. You said you're right-handed?
Yeah, I'm like confused. Hold on.
That's okay.
All right, cool. All anchors are not perfect, right?
They're not exactly. All anchors are not perfect. Alrighty. So the next part we're gonna do is the. I have to call them the spears. I don't know what they're called. Sorry, guys. I'm not a anchor expert, but the arrows on the end of it. You're just going to go right here. You're gonna make your little arrows. You can still see me, Efrain?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go here, and don't take it all the way. When you get to that center piece, you're gonna make a point. And then you're going to put a little circle in that circle as well. Just put a little circle. And then out here on this side.
Like I'm copying. I'm like I'm in school and I'm copying someone.
And then that's where you're gonna make your point. A little point.
All right. So far, so good, guys. If y'all following along, so far, so good. With chalk, it makes everything easier. I actually didn't like my line, so I grabbed my wet paper towel, like Jasmine asked me, and I just make sure that I wipe it down a little bit.
Yep.
So Jasmine, what made you, it seems like you do a lot of kids paint parties. What made you get involved into kids? Take a little, give it a little back. You do have a back history on why you chose kids paint parties, or why that's kind of your forte. Can you go ahead and elaborate more on that?
I'm pretty much a big kid, so there's that. We're gonna start there. I was a preschool teacher for about 6 years. So when it was time for art, that was like my thing. I was like all in there. And sometimes I would go off of the books. I don't really like to follow rules. And then I just like how creative children are. So like they don't mind getting messy and like messing things up and learning. So they would I don't know. I just like working with kids, and just because I work with them for so long, that's like one of my longest jobs that I've had so far up to date. So it just works to I just like to paint with them and create, and I like how excited they are. And I will say that they don't really, kids are so innocent when it comes to like painting. They don't beat themselves up if they make a mess. Like they're still excited, where as adults I've seen at parties where they're like, oh, I messed up, or I this, and it's just like, it's okay. It's okay, we messed up, it's all right.
Hard to hear with the static. Hard to hear with the static. Appreciate that feedback. So we just make sure that we speak just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what the static's coming from, but so what's next? We do got 20 more minutes on this live before
20 more minutes. All right, we're gonna
do
it really quick. So what we're gonna do next, because we need to make sure that that yellow stands out, we need to cover all of this anchor in white. And once that dries, then we're gonna go.
So if you have a black paintbrush, how do we get it to turn white, Jasmine?
If you have a black paintbrush, you clean it off with the water. You dip the paintbrush in the water and clean it off. So what I do now is go in.
You know, I'm new to this. I don't even paint at home.
That's all right.
I don't paint walls. I don't. Nope.
So just go in. Make sure you cover up the blue chalk.
Oh.
If you don't, it's fine. Sometimes I don't, and it actually ends up looking pretty cool.
Do we do it for the top here too?
Huh?
Right here.
When you go up there, whoa, good job.
Okay,
You
I'll
weren't
start
supposed
here.
to do that much, and it's okay.
No, I'll take some from up here.
Yeah, take some of that.
put it
That's your
down
new.
here.
That's your new palette right there in that centerpiece. That centerpiece is your new palette. Yeah.
Make sure you use a lot of paint like I did, alright?
Yes, don't use a lot of paint. Plus, the more paint you use in one section, it's gonna take a little bit of time to dry. Because now you have it in layers. You want to keep it as much like one-dimensional as possible.
So does it need to be like perfect in the anchor?
In the anchor, no, because we just make sure it's covered in that it's white. The insides are white.
And just make sure we color our blue lines, correct?
And just make sure you color your blue lines. And for that top part frame, what you're gonna do is the circle, you're gonna paint that circle. So you're gonna leave a space in the middle. So like, you see how I'm doing this right here? So that's what you were.
Oh. That's where I messed up.
Yes. Okay. So the thinner the paint is, the quicker it dries. So and then once you're done doing that, so make sure you clean your brush off. And then we're gonna go in with that yellow after it dries, which doesn't have to be dried perfectly because, you know, it'll help make that yellow pop too.
So what's good with paint parties that anyone can do it, all right? You don't have to be, it's from beginners to advanced. So that's what's good about Jasmine, is she can really work with anyone. So if you guys feel that you're not the best artist, no worries. Everyone is an artist, you know what I mean? And as long as you do it and you love it, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Just like life. As long as you're happy with life, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I'm happy.
Obviously, Krystiano in the background.
We can actually.
Krystiano, they asked me who was I? They didn't see you.
Who was I?
That is
No,
funny.
they asked me who am I? Who am I?
Who is this?
They thought I took over your Instagram.
Who is this guy, man? Somebody just stole my phone.
Alrighty.
That's funny. Who are you?
What are you doing, Krystiano's phone?
Like, man, somebody stole my phone.
What are you laughing at?
Because of the.
Oh, what are they laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you.
It's not nice, Jasmine.
I'm mocking you. What you said earlier. You said 2 minutes.
You're doing it.
Yeah. Because I'm ready. What's up? Now I'm ready to go.
Go ahead,
Let's
continue,
go.
continue. I'll catch up. I'm like the I'm like the turtle.
I got this guy going over here.
Right? I can't wait to see this.
About to become an artist overnight. I'll be at Disney in no time.
Alright, so next what you're going to do is you're going to go over that white with some yellow. And if it's still a little wet, that is okay.
We're blending in colors. Is that what it's called? Is that
Makes the yellow stand out, huh?
Is that the right terminology? Are we blending colors?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good terminology. That's a good way to put it.
All right. So you guys, you ladies that love to do makeup, this should be easy for you. Blending colors.
That contour y'all be doing. That's literally one of the best lines that I use on
You said y'all like you're not one of them.
I don't put on makeup all the time. I really don't. I am 30, so I probably should start doing it soon before the wrinkles set in, but haha. Oh, wasn't funny.
Jasmine, don't forget, you gotta speak loud and they can't hear you.
Oh yeah. They still can't. Can you guys still, can you hear me? Over there?
You yelling now, I'm pretty sure they're gonna hear you.
Oh, okay.
Should I just dip it in the yellow or do I clean it?
Just dip it in the yellow. It's all good.
Okay.
And then you just go.
My top part gonna do this. What we got here? Awesome, appreciate it. It's a masterpiece. I know you guys are excited to see what I got up my sleeve. You call him Picasso Jr.
Picasso Jr. PJ. PJ.
And Jasmine, do you feel that art is like therapy to you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Can we talk about that? Absolutely. During this, March when people started getting laid off?
We're still in quarantine, girl.
During quarantine, but I wanted to start with March. So in March, before March, life was, it was pretty cool. I had just got into my own place a couple months before. Everything was good, and then it was furlough time for half of us. And unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of us are still on furlough, and my prayers are out to you. That was hard. I have never been in a situation like that in my life, and I'm sure a lot of us have not. It was a wake-up call, for sure, because, one thing that I still had to hold on to was my art that helped me pay my bills. Because if it was not for the art, I can't tell you. I was like, let's get real quick. I was depressed. I was crying almost every day for like 2 weeks because I live alone. So like living alone and like really having to be at home all day, I was like, I do not like me like I thought I did. It was a hot mess.
So you and the canvas became best friends?
Me and the canvas, it was just one day I woke up and I prayed. I was like, Lord, listen, this mindset I'm in, I don't like it. I don't like what I'm thinking about. I don't like any of this. Something's gotta happen. And I woke up. What happened?
No, go ahead.
I woke up one morning on a Sunday. It was 11 o'clock. Woke up at 11 o'clock. And I got up and I pulled one of the biggest canvases I had in my condo. And I pulled it in front of me and I looked at it. And I started painting. Just painting. I colored. I primed it to like a blue. And then I just started sketching this lady's body. And I don't have the picture because it sold the next day. So that was the first painting that I sold so quick.
Take risks. See, that's a great story there.
It literally set my mindset from there. It just made me more hungry, because it's like I almost forgot like my original talent. Like I work in the dental field during the day, but at night, like at the dental, for example, like that, like I said, it's a wake up call because my job was gone just like that. So what do I have
like
now?
an alter ego. You're a dentist. You're on the daytime and an artist.
Front desk. I don't do the back, so don't ask me about any teeth. No, I'm just kidding. But it was definitely a wake up call. And once I started doing that, I just woke up. I started painting more stuff, and people started asking me, "I want a piece just like that," or "I want to do this," or I went on Facebook Live, and I was doing art classes with people just to do it. And that was something that I was looking forward to. It gave me something to wake up to the next day, like to have an activity and something to do, because I was so used to going to work from 8 to 5 every day that I didn't have a schedule anymore, and I had to pick up a new schedule. And it was for me, like, to actually be able to like fall in love with my art again, because when I moved, I stopped painting. I literally had a whole section in my condo that was just for art, and I would walk right past it during quarantine and I didn't care. And then that one day I woke up and I was just like, oh my God, I've been like abandoning you this whole time, and you could have been feeding me, And it was to the point where I was like, do I even want to go back to work? Like, do I want to like take that big leap and just, do this full on like freelance? But I'm not there yet. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not there yet, but maybe one day I will hope to be where that this is my main source of income. And yeah, so it means a lot. And during quarantine, like I said, it was
check me out, guys. I'm doing really good. I don't know if you see, I'm doing better than Jasmine over here. I don't know what you think.
I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna, so after you're done with that, Efrain, you're gonna go and we're gonna put some brown in certain spots, right? So right up here in the circle on the left side, you're just gonna do just a little bit right there, right?
How are we on time, Felix?
Here.
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
Okay. We're gonna put
move a little faster. We got 10 more minutes before Instagram starts to kick us out and want us to pay rent. So we have to move a little quicker.
Like little random spots here. See?
Okay.
Just gonna go like that. Once you do that, there's one more piece that we forgot to do, which is the outside part of the anchor. Let me just taking this off here.
So Jasmine, as we are getting here to the last 10 minutes, can you share that? I think it's really important that we all always mention what that know your worth moment was. What really got you to say, I'm going all in on my art. I want art to be more than just what I'm doing at home, but I want to share it with the others. So you started to post on social media, you started your own business. What was that know your worth moment?
The know my worth moment was when I started to invest in the art. As far as Chris did my logo, I sat there one day and I was like, what name do I want? I want something different that's also kid friendly. And I was like, funky, canvas. I literally, at the time I worked at a dealership, and I was going around doing a poll with different names that I had, asking everyone what name they thought fit me the most. And they picked other names, not the one that I wanted them to pick. So I still picked the one that I wanted, which was funky canvas. And but it was still nice to hear like everyone's ideas and stuff. And then from there I just started sketching what I want my logo to look like. And I reached out to a mutual friend of me and Efrain's, Chris, and because he does logos. And you're gonna go back over that brown with some yellow, Efrain, just to blend it out a little bit. So then he made my logo for me, and once I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is official, like it's real now. And I went straight to like Vistaprint, started making my little started making my business cards, passing them out. I created a social media, people started booking with me. In the beginning I would kind of be like, oh, like price friendly, as far as like, oh, this person said I'm too expensive, so let me bring my price down a little bit, or let me, meet their needs. But then I had to think, I'm like, you don't go to Publix and tell them that you want that milk for $2 instead of $4, so why am I, questioning my worth over here and what I bring to the table, and just saying, okay, cool, I'll do it for this amount of money instead of the amount that I told you. So I just realized, I was like, you know what, nope, this is the price. And when I stuck to my price and people were still booking, that's when I was like, I know what I'm worth. I know that I'm worth this amount because people are still booking regardless. And I do still have people that may question the price or like ask questions and things like that. But I stick to what I know that I'm worth because I've been doing it now since I'd say about 2 years now. I've been doing the paint parties. And even with my personal pieces, that's something that I definitely can't, because it's a personal piece, I couldn't go back on the prices that I do for that. Because I know, for example, the piece that I did during quarantine, that sold for a decent amount of money, and it was because of the thought process and what I was going through during that time that I knew that was worth more than just saying, oh, it's going to be this amount. I knew the price and I stuck to that price, and it sold in a day. So I would say, Efrain, I thought I knew it then, but selling that painting was like an eye-opener because I've never sold anything in a day like that. Usually it takes, a couple weeks sometimes, or posting it a couple times. I posted it one time and there were so many people messaging me about it, wanting to buy that painting. What about you?
So I think it's very important that you guys know that when you guys are afraid and you guys feel like you want to take a risk, take that risk. But in the meantime, know your worth, understand your value. I think it's very important when Jasmine speaks about her really taking that leap of faith and painting the biggest painting that she's done, and created, her masterpiece, and to post it online and to sell it the same day that she painted it. She had no idea that was going to happen, but it was more of taking a risk on herself, knowing her worth, knowing her value. So if you're an artist, don't be afraid to take risks, to believe in yourself, to just understand what your value is when you're creating paintings and you're selling paintings. So many times we want to sell paintings because we feel that we're worried about somebody else's pockets. I think it's very important, and Krystiano can always testify to it, but understand your worth, know your value, and don't ever be afraid to take risks. Life is about taking risks. You don't know what's on the other side if you don't ever take that first step. So I think it's very important. Jasmine, are you? So we're pretty much done with our pieces. This is my masterpiece. I think it looks great.
Mine's is
What y'all think? Give us the feedback. Is it Disney worthy? Krystiano, is it Disney worthy?
We're gonna open an auction. Wait, what $25, $8, 25 cents, $50, $50, $7. Yeah. Did you do this thing right? The voice came out okay.
Turn it like this.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, look, okay. Gives me a.
Oh no, the mustache with the.
Hey, I got the mustache.
Yo, we almost look like Krystiano.
I got the mustache right here. Man, I need to shave this, My girlfriend keeps saying, keep growing. I was like, man.
Well, guys, as always, we really appreciate you guys tuning in to Art Talk Live. It's 5 weeks. Next week we'll bring in another artist and do something even more cool or more different. Again, we want to just make sure that we can give artists a platform. We thank you, Jasmine, from Fucking Canvas _18 if you want to follow her on Instagram if you want to book any private parties. But thank you so much for coming into Krystiano's studio. We'll definitely see you again next week. And if you're in St. Pete, Ocean Blue, Krystiano will be there live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It's a little bit of the Sunday. If you get there at 2 o'clock, you're too late. I'm just busting it
So if you want to see him in person, if you're a fan of his, you want to see his art or buy any of his pieces, he would definitely be there live. And really just, guys, appreciate the love that you guys continue to provide us. Until next week, we'll see you 6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. See ya.